What's up, everyone, and welcome to another Bitcoin market update. In these videos, you will learn how to use technical analysis to forecast price movements in your favorite cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and others. So let's get into it here with Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. Right now, it is looking pretty good for the bulls. We have a weekly lower high set here from last week. So right now, we've really been tightening up here. Right here we did wick below this low and this low. We came up, we formed a lower high. Right here we came up, we formed a lower high, and now we're coming down and potentially forming a higher low here. Now if we form a higher low and we come up and go to a higher high, which if we go to the monthly, we said yesterday potentially is likely, and the reason for that is because this declining bear volume as well as the longer lower wick on this candlestick. If we look at this from a weekly perspective, that would mean for us to go up this month, we would need to set a higher low on the weekly time frame and then go up and break to a higher high. So we'll see what we end up getting there on the weekly time frame here. But if we do, and the bulls get two, so this is what it'll look like. So if the bulls end up getting two candle closes above this key high right here after they set their higher low, then this candlestick likely will turn into a support zone for price because this is where we rejected off of. So if we close above that, that'll end up being support on a retest because that's a support resistance flip. So it went from being resistance here to, if we go above it and then come back into it, it'll be support. So that's exactly what we got here. We had resistance right here, came down, then we closed above it. So when we came back into this, it was support here, support again, and now potentially support a third time. So let's go to the 3-day time frame. If we look at this from a 3-day perspective, we may have just formed our higher low. We drew down from our lower high about 12%. So pretty decent drawdown there from the high up here at 36,612. Now we potentially have formed our higher low and we're trading up since that point. We'll see if that ends up actually being our higher low. We'll have to break above 35.1, which is possible, but we'll see what we get. If we go to the 2-day time frame, the 2-day time frame is looking really good and closes in 1 hour and 20 minutes. So right here we had the makings of a bull trend, but then this candle closed back below this key high. We formed a higher low here, we came up, formed a lower high, and then we made a lower low. But you can see that as of right now, at least, we're not closing below this low. So we're not in bad shape here if we're a bull. In fact, we're actually in pretty good shape because although we went below the low, it looks like we're going to close back above it. So that would be good news for the bulls for potential continuation higher here. The other thing to keep in mind is this gray resistance level on the 2-day time frame, which we've already tested 2 times. So the third test of this, we've been talking about this level. I said it was likely that we're not going to go through this on the first test. This was a short trade that we took, or that I took rather. Then there was the second test where I said it's probably likely we're not going to go through it on the second test as well because it's a higher time frame level and we reject off it a second time. Now what I'm saying is I think that the more times we test this one, I know that we're decreasing the strength of this level. So if we go into this level a third time, we might actually be able to go through it. But what we are going to be going up against is this daily pivot level before we even get to that, which is at about 35,000. So what is price bouncing off of? Well, we're bouncing off of the same exact support zone that we've been bouncing off of for literally since the beginning of this drawdown back in May 19th. So we've tested this level now once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times now. So this is 7 times we tested this support level. So eventually it's going to break down, but we haven't actually gotten that yet. So we'll see what we end up getting here. But for now, what we can look for is seeing where our next high is going to be set. So are we going to go up from here and just go break to a new higher high above this high here? Or are we going to form a lower high and then have to come down and form a higher low again? We'll see what we end up getting, but what I'm keeping an eye on is actually this lower time frame 8-hour resistance level right here that we're currently touching on. So this is our resistance level right here from where we had this kind of double top and then this drawdown. So now what we've done is we've formed a higher low and now we're breaking to the upside. But you can see that this is the last area where people were buying their Bitcoin before this drawdown. And so this is where the resistance is going to be, if there is going to be some. So now what we're watching is to see, is this level going to hold as resistance on the first test, or rather is the price going to go right through this zone and close right above it? So if it goes through this zone and closes 2 candles above it, there might be support there on a retest. So we'll see what we end up getting. But right now you can see the price is going, it's pumping pretty good into it. But this is an 8-hour candlestick and we're losing bull momentum here. We only have an hour and 17 minutes left, and it's not looking like the bulls are going to be able to make up that much in volume in an hour and 17 minutes. It's possible. I mean, the whales could step in and make it happen, but if we do get declining bull volume into this, we'll have to see what the next 8-hour candle holds. But something I'm watching is actually these key highs right here for a potential wick into this level and then a drawdown thereafter, because there is stop losses above these 2 key highs. So what the whales might want to do is engineer a move to push the price up to these highs, and then once we go above those highs, we trigger the stop losses by going above them for a second, so the people that went short get stopped out of their positions because they have to buy their Bitcoin back. That allows long-term bears, like the whales that are in the market that are bears, to fill their short positions without moving the price significantly, and then we go down from there. So that's what I'm watching, these key highs, because this is a very interesting setup where on this exchange we have the exact same level, 35,100 for both of these highs. So those are equal highs. So those are usually kind of interesting areas to watch when you get those sorts of equal highs for price to move towards those levels. So that's what I'm watching there on Bitcoin. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, it's already looking pretty good here for the bulls in terms of pushing through resistance. This was our previous resistance, this candle here. We rejected off it here, rejected off it a second time, and now we've pushed through that zone, and right now we're operating above that right here. So this is the yellow zone, is currently the resistance zone that I'm keeping an eye on, and we'll see if we get a rejection off that level, or if we go up for these key highs and then get a rejection from that level, or if we just go right through this. It's potentially possible that we do that. So that's also another option that we're looking at, but we have to keep in mind that the bears right now have the momentum in terms of trends on the higher time frames. One last thing I wanted to mention, if you'd like to get 24/7 access to all of Leutheria's trading ideas related to Bitcoin and Ethereum, as well as additional educational resources, you can send an email to the email address in the description below, which is team@leutheria.com, and you can find out how to join our new exclusive Leutheria Signals group, where we've been posting all of our different ideas related to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And over the past 3 months, our trading ideas on Bitcoin and Ethereum have went over 160% on spot and over 480% on 3x leverage. And if you've been watching these videos, you've seen the results of those different trading ideas that we've had. So if that's something that you're interested in looking into and potentially learning from different trading ideas and strategies that we have at Leutheria, check that out and send an email to team@leutheria.com, and we'll get that information sent over to you to join the group. All right, until next time, onward and upward.